day 3 of Reading Festival. I'm here with Frank Iero. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Now, when you made the record, it wasn't going to be for general consumption necessarily, and you never really had the dream to be a frontman. So,
no, definitely not.
Is that
like a nightmare? Kind of, to be honest. I made the record very selfishly. I did it because I needed to stay creative. I needed to kind of regain that part of my life, and my intent was to just kind of document this moment in time and hold on to it for however many years. And my kids got older and be like, hey, I made this like 20 years ago. And then what happened was I was writing these songs. A friend of mine called me up, a very dear friend who's I've worked with for many, many years, Matt Galley, and he asked what I'd been up to. And I played him some songs, and then he convinced me to play it for some other people. And then before I know it, I was here. It's kind of weird.
And you're stuck here now. You can't escape.
I can't go home. Yeah, I'm under contract. It's horrible. No, I'm kidding. No, it's been amazing. I never expected any of this. Yeah.
Is it getting easier though? Are you feeling more comfortable in the role yet, or do you think that will never come for you? It's just not right for your mindset.
No, I think that's the thing, right? Fish came out of water and grew legs. You know what I mean? So I think we all kind of adapt and evolve. And I don't know if I'll ever feel like this is where I was supposed to be, but I'm here and I'm having more fun.
You're gonna revel in it.
I'm reveling. I don't know.
Not quite.
I don't know if I'm reveling, but I am having a good time, and I've learned that I can do it on my own terms, and that's kind of interesting to me. Once I started to open up a couple of doors, it became more interesting and more fun. Yeah.
And I read your song that you don't like to be doing nothing. You can't just sit there just festering and that. You have to be busy.
That time's going to come, though. I'm sure.
Do you think?
Fuck everything. I don't want to do anything.
I don't believe you.
Maybe. I don't know. There's that fantasy I have of people that have a job, right, where they like go, and I don't know if this is true, but I think it is, and this is in my fantasy. It's true. Is that like if you're a mailman, you go and you deliver all this mail, and then you go home and you never think about mail ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's gonna be amazing, right? Where you're like you don't think about the thing that you do, and because I'm consumed with it 24/7, and that's a hard thing to do, but it's also something I wouldn't trade for the world. So,
are you someone that has to have like a notepad by the bed because you might wake up or you're not even sleeping and you need to write that bit down?
I use my phone for it, which I really probably shouldn't because it's so who knows what could ever happen to that. But yeah, I have to at all times. I love the voice memo thing. Ultimately, I'll wait a week and then listen to all the things that I've recorded, and there's like 100 things like, it's like, what is this? I have no idea what that is.
It was good at the time, though.
It was wonderful at the time. Like, I had to, stop the conversation I was having to go do that. But, yeah, sometimes you just use it as a way to escape a conversation.
Yeah, well, that's handy.
I gotta lay this down. Right away.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
But you're also a bit of a hoarder, aren't you? So I guess having a collection of vocal things.
Yeah, she hates that. I do. Here's the thing about it, though. It's not about things as much as it's they anchor memories for me.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's like, I remember like this weird rock. I remember I wrote on it, but my daughter picked it up and said this really funny thing, and wanted me to hold on to it, and I did. I held on to it. I keep everything.
I'm that person too. I've got 3 bedrooms full of my stuff now.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. It's
They're gonna find you dead, buried underneath it with all these, you know what I mean?
Eating by Alsatians.
And no one will understand how important all this junk was but you, and you can't tell them because you're dead underneath it.
I'll say Frank knows. He understands.
Yeah, that's the note. It says, Frank would have understood. And then you couldn't finish it because everything fell on top.
Yeah, good times. Can't wait. Now, you're also a bit of an observer. So when you're thinking about, writing a record, do you know when you've observed something that's going to make the cut for a song? Or is it just later in hindsight, you're like, when I saw that scenario happening, okay, that was a moment?
There's things that you see that you are important. You don't know why they are, but again, I'll take a piece of it with me. Either there's a photo or something, to hold on to it, and then that jogs your memory to go back to that later on and try to recall that and use it somehow. That sounds terrible, but it's true. Like these experiences that you have, these people that you meet. we're all just a collection of moments. You know what I mean? We're a collection of weird. Mannerisms that we've stolen from other people, whether it be our parents or people we meet along the way.
Or films.
Yeah, and films, absolutely. All of that, and it's cool. It's nice to use that and expand upon it and make it your own and do things with it. I think that's a good thing, to use what you see, use your world. But I don't know if you know exactly how important things are when you see them, unless it's super important. That happened once where I saw Heather Gable's photo, and I knew that was going to be the image for the record cover, because I had been searching for something that captured something delicate and intricate, yet powerful and fragile. Like, I wanted something like that, and as soon as I saw that photo, I knew that was it. That was it.
Yeah. The imagery and everything, stylistically, that's so important to you, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It wasn't as a young man. Like, I didn't get it until I think I learned that through my chem.
Yeah.
I learned how much control you could have over things, and how that would dictate what the experience your listener would go through. And that's priceless. To know that you can do that kind of a thing. So the older you get, the more experience you get, the more you fail. You learn from that, and you get to the next level where you're like, oh man, there are no rules.
Yeah.
There really aren't. That's the nirvana that you want to reach. It's like realizing that no one can tell you what you can and can't do.
And you're in that nirvana now.
We'll see. We'll see.
Work in progress.
Yeah, always. Because once you stop learning, you might as well just give the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you wanted to do a photography book at one point. Is that happening?
I love it. Yeah, I would love to do that. When I have the time, which I never do. But yeah.
Do you make yourself busy?
I do. I'll work on something fully, and then something else will come up, and I won't say no to it, and I'm hard pressed to multitask. I like to focus on one thing. So when something else comes up, I drop what I'm doing to go do the other thing, and then sometimes it feels weird to go back. I feel like if you don't finish it in that one stream, maybe it's best to just be abandoned.
Momentum is lost, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. It's hard to pick up where you left off.
Now, I want to talk to you briefly about the Lonely the Brave split thing that you did. Now, was it important that you kind of shared, the musical space with a band that is so emotionally charged, that there's something really deep about what they do?
I think the art form of doing those like split 7 inches is lost. I loved seeing that as a kid growing up, in the 90s, and like that, happened a lot. And I remember finding out about tons of bands because at the drive-in did like 40 like split 7 inches with I think there's like a Braid one, Burning Airlines. Like, you find out about all these other bands through it, and I love that. And so when Hassel brought it up, we should do a split between some of our bands. I was like, that absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And they're a fantastic band, really nice guys. I got to see them in Leeds, play in Leeds, and I thought they were fantastic. So and then also the icing on the cake was to get Dan Carter to do the art, who I think just kind of killed it.
Yeah. And you're doing it with vinyls in general. You're bringing vinyls back. You're just trying to bring everything old school back that was good.
Well, I'm again with the hoarding thing. I'm also a fan of the process. I like the ritual of it. I feel like when you put on a record, it's no longer just in the background. It takes a lot more to take it out of the sleeve, not scratch it, put the record down, clean it sometimes, get the dust off. Like, that's very important. And I think it means more when you have to do that, as opposed to just scanning through like a whole discography. It's like, oh, I have all these discographies. I listen to nothing, but I have it all in my pocket. It's a bit, it's empty.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're quite in demand, so I might have to let you go.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It really has been nice to talk to you. I hope to do a longer one at some point so we can get in depth.
That would be wonderful.
How was your show at Leeds though before you
It was fantastic. It's weird. Like, we haven't done a lot of festivals in this project, but it's when you get back into it, you learn it all floods back, and you're like, oh man, that's right. This is it's a totally different animal than just playing shows.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to today. I think I learned a lot more the other day.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. Dirty. I'm real dirty. Real
I
dirty.
think we all are, right? A bit grimy.
So gross. So gross. Yeah.
On that lovely note,
Feel
a bit
horrible
gross.
about yourself. Yeah. It's terrible.
Bye from the gross people.
Thank you so much.